Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another review on Halloween month. And since I've been meaning to want to do another one because like last year I did a few of these. I'm reviewing a few episodes of one of my favorite TV shows growing up. That is the Goosebumps TV series. And last year I reviewed quite a few that some of them were like my few of them were like my favorite episodes. Like I reviewed like Nine Terror Tower or Stay Out of the Basement, etc. But now it's time to review another one, which is another one that I also do enjoy, and it's also another one of my favorite books of the series. And this, which I have it on DVD, which I did review the book as well. This one I'm reviewing today is The Girl Who Cried Monster. Now, as this one, The Girl Who Cried Monster, which is this one is the 8th book of the series. So you go back here. She's got the monster of all problems in the bag. You know, like she's telling the truth, but no one believes her. So, in this episode of the series and the book, it focuses on the tale of the character of a girl named Lucy, and she likes to tell like some lies, to mess around with her brother, and say, oh, like, oh, monsters, like, oh, it's a monster, it's real and this and that, but until one day, when she goes to the library, when the librarian, Mr. Mortman, which as this episode goes, like she also she kind of likes reading like scary or monster stories, stuff like which Mr. Mormon, is always wants her to read like the classic books like Black Beauty, and she's like but he asks her, what do you think of it, and he's like, I give it 2 thumbs down, and it's like, but Lucy, Black Beauty is a classic, and it was like she wishes like if the horse had like more like 4 or 2 heads or something like that. And he goes and checks out another book, and he goes like, so then she picks up the book on Frankenstein. It's like, are you sure, Lucy? Frankenstein is a classic as well. But this one has a monster in it, she says. And she has her friend, forget what her friend was. It Aaron? I think that's what her friend was. And he says it would be cool if monsters were real. And Mr. Mormon says, well, no, Aaron. Monsters exist in films or books or fantasies, not in real life. I think that was that was like one of the lines that was in the book as well. And then when she forgets her rollerblades at the place, because one thing is not expressed in that was from the book though, is that in the book she was part of this book club. I don't think that's no book club mentioned in this episode here. But she goes and returns back to the library to get her roller skates. Then when it's later in the night, she sees Mr. Mormon talking like to it. He has like crickets, and then he starts eating them, and then he starts transforming into this monster. Like a big head and bulging eyes out, teeth and everything. So he's eating the crickets, and the transformation, well done makeup effects from this time. It's well done makeup effects, which is like about like this right here, you can see. So it is a good makeup effect. And she runs away, and she tells her parents and brother, but they don't believe her because all the lies she's told. Nobody believes her. And this time when she wants to get a picture She wants to take a picture for proof. So later in the time she goes back there, and when he sees him transform again, he's eating a tarantula. Which in the book also that he eats eels and turtles, but in this way he eats crickets and a tarantula. So he gets a picture. He's like, "Who's there?" and knows that it's Lucy. And he's like, "Oh, I like fast food." Lucy's like, "Lucy," and he corners her, but she manages to escape, like going right under his legs. But she manages to escape, and then later on the next day, when they're walking with his mom, I mean to say that her mom, she bumps into Mr. Mortman and is invited to their house for dinner, and he comes over to their house, and it's like, when's dinner? And the parents are like, you are. And they transform into monsters, which you don't see much of them. I mean, you see like up closes of them. You like have like teeth and kind of like a snake type of fangs. I mean, you get like a little bit close up of what they really look like though, but it's not much. But because you see most of their close-ups though, but they have like fangs and stuff like that though, but. And you don't actually see them eat Mr. Mormon. You see him like doing this, and there's transaction between him and the parents as monsters, and that's it. Of course, he wouldn't show that because that'd be too scary for the kids. So they show it like that, which I understood though. So after that, they go back to the human form and said that they said that the Mr. Mormon was the first monster they has been around in 20 years, and that's why. So they knew that she was telling. They knew that Lucy was telling the truth, but it was a little bit hard to believe until they had to really actually prove that he was a monster. So, and which now, since their parents are monsters, they are also monsters as well. Lucy and her brother, and says that the reason why that. She hasn't outgrown her own fangs yet, so that's where her father says, so tomorrow you're gonna start using your training fangs. So yeah, so that's when the book. So their whole family are really monsters, and they're much more, I guess, more of an improvement of monsters, more than Mr. Mormon was. So that's why she could not fight her off because she doesn't get her basically. Her own fangs until what puberty, I should say. Well, I'll show him much more of a term than that though. So, and then they see another like a monster face in the window, and it's the parents about to transform again, but it's actually Lucy's friend Aaron wearing a mask when they quickly hide themselves. And then their friend asks, "What's for dinner?" It's like, "Oh, we had dinner, but we got room for dessert." And it's a pie, and they're all ends with all of them just laughing. So this is gonna be much more short than my usual reviews because these are episodes, not films. But yeah, The Girl Who Cried Monster, I would say, is another favorite of the Goosebumps book of the series. Of course, I like long ago, which has been that long ago. I have shown my entire collection of the Goosebumps series, but I'm not entirely sure if I ever made my top list of my favorite books, though. If I haven't, then I'll probably have to do that, though. But I would say this was another one of my favorites. I would say it's another good Goosebumps edition in this whole series. But as for the episode, I also really enjoy it. It's another good episode of the series. And especially, I like how when it's in the library, how it's so dark and it shows the outside how the outside of the library looks, and it shows like it may look like an average library from the outside, and the inside how it's all dark and when she's being chased, and I like how the way it looks, like how it's dark in the library, and it's like kind of atmospheric in a way, her running and all these books around, and I just think it's like it's atmospheric, I would say, in this dark how dark the library looks. Like I said, this entire show was made to look dark, just like the book. So, but I'm just pointing out how this for the setting is in the episode, because of the whole Goosebumps series is supposed to be made to be, which I really enjoyed. How the film, I mean, all the episodes are supposed to be dark, just like the book. So, which I appreciate. That's why you don't see like a TV show nowadays look like this. That's why I would say for the Goosebumps series, I would say it's one of a kind. I would say, so I grew up with this. I grew up with this series and the books as well. It's another one of the biggest things in my childhood. Although there has been like I would say there was another show. Are You Afraid of the Dark? I've seen a few episodes of those, but I just been more into the Goosebumps. So, but I don't think Are You Afraid of the Dark is a bad show. I just haven't watched too many of those. That's why it's hard for me to judge on that TV show. Because I know it's supposed to be like a dark kids show as well. So I remember, the kids get around for that fire. When the episode ends, it ends with them putting out the fire. So it's hard for me to judge on the show because I hardly ever watched too many of those. But I know it's supposed to be this supposed to be like this with dark filmed episodes. But it's easily for me. I love this show more. So as for this episode, the girl who cried monster. Also, well done makeup effects of Mr. Mortman as the monster. Even for the brief appearance of the parents as monsters, I would say it's decent as well. But the effects of Mr. Mortman, the makeup of this, well done. And which also case in back here was also how to kill a monster, which I have already reviewed the episode. It's on last year on my channel, so you can still check that out. So how to kill a monster, which I always enjoyed that suit. That monster was really well done, practical monster suit. But I think also I'll have to review this one here, another classic in the series, which was one of the more iconics of the whole franchise, Monster Blood. So I'll review this one next. But the Girl Who Cried Monster, another great in the book series, and also for the episode as well in the series. But anyway, that's the Girl Who Cried Monster. Just short episode review. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned on next more for Halloween month. Later.